Greetings and beyond the new. My name is Omni, and welcome to the current installment of What If Deku Was the Reincarnation of Jugo Part 1. Now, I I had a kind of a brain toot, so it's not the Izanami. Ami. Okay, so he does know the Izanami, but it's a watered down version. It's a teleportation jutsu instead. And then he learns Tsukiyomi a year when at the start of his last year, I mean, uh, his first year of middle school, but also now in the anime, I only really watch the anime. I don't really watch the manga, so I'm gonna be also creating my own different versions of different jutsus for particle style. Well, okay. So, yeah, that's how it's going to be. They're going to be based off of, like the different other jutsus that the let's see. The third Kage of the village hidden in the stone. I forgot what the Kage is called. Anywho, who he'll also be he'll also learn no, yeah, he will be learning more genjutsus in the future. So, okay, actually, no, the genjutsu. Okay, so yeah, I changed my mind. It's the five genjutsus he was taught instead of the Izanami. It's the man. I just said it. Man, I hate brain toots. The older you get, the more often you get them. Oh yeah, Tsukiyomi. Yeah. Okay. And I will be creating my own variations of different jutsus for particle style since I only watch the anime and yeah. Yeah. So, we we go all the way to where we last left off. Okay, All Might had just de-transformed. Everything goes like in canon, but when Izuku sees it, he does a spit take. Ache. Ache. Oh, and just so you know, for the water style, I know he is able to do. He's become so good at it. He's like the second Hokage. He can pull the water from thin air. Okay, so yeah. Anywho, who after then All Might gives him the whole explanation of why he's like this. Blah 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 blah. We we skip ahead to where. So I'm going to say when All Might jumped away from before Izuku transformed, armed the sludge villain's bottle. Actually, he overdid it. So yeah, the force of the overdone jump launches the sludge villain at the alley where Bakugo and his two cronies are. So yeah. Anywho, who okay, then we skip ahead to where uh, all the way to where Bakugo accidentally kicks the bottle that the sludge villain opened because he was angry that because his longtime lackey with the finger lengthening quirk, uh, uh, suggested maybe he should try and patch things up with Deku because the other lackey said, weren't you and Deku childhood friends? At least that's what I've heard. Okay, so then the sludge villain says, I'm gonna take over your body. That's body. And lunges at Katsuki. Katsuki using his quirk, but the sludge villain dodges it and says, that's a very powerful quirk. You will definitely be a good vessel. And then he immediately gloms on Bakugo, and everything goes like in canon. Okay, now skip ahead to when Izuku just manages to get in front of the crowd. Then everything goes like in canon, but he fully transforms and uses the jets on his back and legs and even arms to shoot out at Bakugo. Kamui Wood's Death Arms and that hero that looks like a more suited up fireman and say he should stop. Mountain Lady even No, wait, no. Actually, yeah. Just those three heroes are on the scene. Deku tries to get the sludge villain off of Bakugo without using chakra. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, but he fails at it, so he uses water prism jutsu to disorient the sludge villain, and then manages to get him to look into his eyes, and in that 1 second, 24 hours have passed of Deku beating up on the sludge villain, which makes him faint again, and then he manages to grab Bakugo, which allows the other heroes to put out the fire. They praise Bakugo because of his quirk. They scold Deku for being so reckless and using his quirk. Everything goes like in canon, except Death Arms and Kamui Woods actually secretly congratulate him after the reporters start trying to interview Bakugo, and then after they're done with him, they try to interview Deku. But as soon as Kamui Woods and Death Arms realize this, they manage to get Deku away from the reporters without him using his quirk. Oh, and of course, he's already de-transformed right after they had the Kamui Woods and Death Arms had complimented him on his quirk, and how they'll both be sending him stuff for the internships and work studies. And just so you know, I'm going to be making all the work studies and internships with Death Arms. Sorry, brain toot. Okay, so we skip all the way ahead to when he runs into Bakugo. The same stuff happens like in canon. Then we skip to when he meets up with All Might. All Might asks him if he would like to inherit his quirk. Izuku is stunned about this, but he still says it's that. Then, and that while he's stunned, in his mind, Jugo says as that he should accept the quirk. or because at the encounter he did on the that Deku and All Might had on the roof, Kami told the Kami of Jugo's original world told him about all this, explaining everything, and of course then, but he doesn't tell this to Deku. Then after Deku is surprised and says in his mind, "Jugo Sensei, are you sure?" "Yes, I'm sure." Or I'll I'll just say this: it's going to come in handy, young Midoriya. Oh, okay, Jugo Sensei. Okay, then of course he accepts it. Then oh, and also I'm going to say a Kami also gives him when he started middle school, Kami gave Jugo to give to Deku the power to sense, to be an empath, and the ability to be able to read, which is the ability to read emotions. Okay, so yeah. Then before the 10 months of training start, he sees that All Might sees that Deku is already very physically fit, so he gives him a quirk right off the bat. Okay, as soon as the okay, hey, okay, so yeah, Izuku after eating the quirk, it instantly digests in his body. He faints while standing up and goes into the vestige world, where Jugo is accompanying him. All the past users of One for All not only give Deku the rundown of what happened, what caused the birth of One for all, but also giving him all their quirks right off the bat. So yeah, so he'll have a power up version of all of them. The ability transfer to be like the transfer spell that Issei uses in High School DxD. Then Black Whip, Fajin, which is that quirk where you do repetitive moves to boost power. Smoke Scream, Float, Gear Shift, basically all the other quirks that are tied to One for All. Oh, okay, so yeah. Anywho, and then this all happens in the span of 10 seconds, and out in the waking world, but in the mindscape, it he actually trains a little bit with each of the new quirks with specific hero that it originally belonged to, being the teacher. So he will have spend since he's a genius with analyzing quirks in the mindscape. It only took him a day in the mindscape to be able to understand and master each of the quirks. So yeah, and he and the during all that, Nana Shimura was worried that that her quirk was pretty much useless in all this. Then Deku, let's see, came up with the idea, maybe I can temporarily transfer one of the quirks, just like I can I'm sure I can transfer the stockpile or power, and seeing as how I'll work on how to control how much I give to another person. So yeah, I'm sure I can do that. All of them are shocked about this, but that's when Deku wakes up out of the mindscape, and then Jugo tells them that don't worry, he can do it. And then the Kami of his original world comes around. He explains the Jugo's past and everything, blah 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 blah, which they are all completely shocked about this. And then as Kami is explaining Jugo's past, Jugo actually tells Izuku to give All Might the power of the curse mark. Izuku is shocked about this, and when he wakes up, he says, "What the what? Why? What the what?" Yeah, he just says, "What the what?" All Might is shocked by the outburst, and then Izuku goes to his life story, Jugo's life story, and why Jugo is and how Jugo is now in the vestige world as sort of a because, and the reason why Deku was so sure he could temporarily transfer the quirks that make up that are in One for All is because he can transfer part of his power, which is the power of the curse mark. And over this time, he's able to instantly give anyone a curse mark just within of all the years of training in, let's see, 18 meters in a perfect circle around him. Well, I mean a perfect sphere around him. You know, a sphere is like a ball, is the shape of a ball, or a bowling ball. Anyway, let's get back to the video. After being told, actually, he's shown Jugo's life story in the Mindscape, because they both held hands while meditating. No, actually, no, they both meditated, and then Izuku, through All Might's vestige, showed him his and Jugo's past, yada yada yada. And this is when Kami also introduced himself as a Kami of Jugo's original world to them. Blah 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 blah. They are both shocked about this, and that do not worry, Toshinori Yagi. This boy is the true destined one to not only change this world, but to permanently defeat All for One. And I believe none of you, except for his younger brother, knows why he wants to be a villain. Okay, so the younger brother of All for One explains on why he wants to conquer the world, yada yada yada. They are all shocked to see it's because he wants to be a demon lord, like in he and his his and his little brother's favorite comic, of Demon Lord, which, in my opinion, is a lich. It's if you don't know what that is, it's basically what Momonga / Ainzel Gon is in the anime Overlord. And I know how I said it. I know most people say his name Gown, but I say Gon. Yeah. Okay, let's see. But if you don't know what that is, then just look up Lich. It's also the same type of being that the Lich is in from Adventure Time. So yeah. Anywho, let's get back into the video. Okay, All Might accepts the curse arc. Now there will be 3 type of curse marks. The 2 that are shown in the anime, which is the heaven and earth, and then for those ones, he lets those go to anyone, but the ones he trusts the most out of those he gives the curse mark to will have the 3rd one, which will be the hell curse mark. And yes, there is a hell curse mark. You just need to look it up. Okay, so All Might receives the hell curse mark. And I'll say in his when he goes into his 2nd stage, he looks like his muscle form, but growths coming out of his body that look like the blades of the Shredder from the 2003 version of the Shredder of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles version 2003. Okay, so yeah, I chose that one because that's the one I grew up with. Other than the OG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where the Shredder wears a purple cape. Anywho, let's get back into the video. During the 10 months, Deku and All Might actually spar, are helping Deku not only master the ability to not only temporarily transfer the stockpiling power and / quirk to / individual quirks to All Might, right? And adjusting the power level of the physical power. It also helps All Might learn more how to control the curse mark. Now, the curse marks will not have the whole solely making you go crazy, making you want to do horrible things just to gain the second stage, which I've said in my previous video, which is part 0. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. Okay, and I'm gonna say that he completely, and during the 10 months, All Might has almost mastered it. In completion, in comparing it to percentage of like 0 to 100%, he is like 80% mastered his first age form. Okay, so yeah. After the 10 months of training ends, and that's when they both, All Might is given a little bit of power to be able to maintain his muscle form for an hour, and he makes Izuku get on his back giving him a piggyback ride to UA, but more specifically, a block away. And then he does a little hero work. So he's not going. He knows he doesn't need to be there, but Izuku is a little worried, so he gives him more juice to be able to let's see the time limit he starts off with in canon, and then which All Might is thankful for. Oh, and yeah, okay, so yeah. Then Izuku walks, and he's about to enter UA. He's That's when Bakugo does the same thing, yada yada yada. Then after Bakugo leaves Izuku alone, then he hears Dekaru-kun. Then Izuku thinks in his mind, wait, the only one who's called me Dekaru-kun is. Then he smiles and turns around and says, Ocha-chan. And he is shocked to see how developed she's gotten because let's just say after we do a quick flashback after Deku told Inko about his quirk awakening, then they call Uraraka's parents, then they Uraraka's parents confront Bakugo's parents about his about their son bullying their daughter. Mitsuki says, "Yeah, I can see that. That he's not really exactly what I call a good boy. He's basically a real jerk." And then they give uh the then they give the whole spiel about Bakugo needing to change, yada yada yada. Then the day afterwards, Ochaka's parents moved to let's see, oh yeah, Hosu, and then they stay there. But then of course Ochaka still goes to UA like in canon, blah 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 blah. Now we get back into the video to the present. They talk for a long time while they're walking, and then we skip ahead to when Ida is doing that whole spiel thing that everyone sits in canon, and then so yeah, then since Izuku doesn't mutter anymore, except when he's doing his analyzing thing. So he also ignores Bakugo, which makes Bakugo so mad that he ends up doing a pretty loud grr sound. So instead of Tenya Ida calling out Deku, he calls out Bakugo. Then Bakugo says, "Huh? What are you trying to make me do?" "I'm not trying to make you do a thing, you scoundrel," Ida says. "Oh, so I'm a scoundrel," Bakugo says. "Yes, you're disrupting everything. Hey, last time I checked, you were the one who started the disruption." This goes back and forth, then President Max says, "Okay," and tries to speak, but he gets shout out by Katsuki, says, "Shut it, you damn idiot." And then in one fluid motion, Izuku not only stands up, it says, no, wait, no. Then grabs Bakugo on the back of his head and slams him right without knocking him out onto the desk. Which then he says, "I apologize for this idiot." He's basically exploding Pomeranian Chihuahua. He might have bite, but has a lot of bark in him too. Ooh. Which makes Bakugo angry at this, but then we skip ahead to when they are all transported to their respective testing sites, like in the same that they go in canon, and that's actually where I'm going to be leaving it off. Like, comment, and subscribe, but I'm not doing this for this. It just helps me out. I'm doing this to get my creative juices out, and yes, I said juices, so yeah. And putting for the entertainment value and putting my own spin on things. So yeah. Anywho, bye.